This video is going to be made for two sets of people. Number one, for anyone who has suffered from a fracture in the radial head of their elbow here. It's like a bone in the forearm that connects here to the arm. And I am just about a little over three weeks removed from the injury. I'm going to, this video is going to be for you if you have just suffered from that injury and maybe you would like some resources and some guidance. I am not a doctor by any means, but I'm not finding a ton of really good content out there since this break, and so I would like to make content specifically for this break and my recovery process and everything like that. I'm also going to show you a few of the exercises that I'm doing to get the strength back. The second thing is just for people in general. I think it can apply to everyone when you have setbacks, when you have things that completely derail the plans that you had for yourself, and how to mentally get through it. Because I am somebody who really loves working out. I love rock climbing, and when you have an injury like this, it really changes everything because you can't go and lift weights the same because you can't put a lot of weight on this arm or else you will make it worse. And so you're having to work out one side of your body, you're having to focus on legs, you're having to stay active, you're having to watch what you eat even more because you can't work out how you want to. And it's really a mental game. And so if anyone's suffering through an injury or through any type of setback, I'm going to talk about a few things there too. So let's start with this injury itself. This was about 3 Mondays ago. So I am shooting this on Saturday, October 11th. And this happened on Monday, September 15th. So we're almost a month out of this injury. And I was riding my bike to the gym. I live in Coronado, California, and I was making a left turn, did not see a motorcycle, and it whooshed right by me. I feel like he kind of clipped me, and he just kept driving. And so I fell, and I fell right on the elbow. I don't know exactly where I fell, but long story short, I'm gonna put the x-ray up right here so you can see the crack in the radial head. It's not too crazy. I've seen some x-rays out there of the radial heads being just completely shattered and people having to be put in casts and having surgeries and plates and bolts and all that kind of stuff. Thank God that that didn't happen. But I thank God for many other things because admittedly I was not wearing a helmet. And you know, of all the bones that I could have broken, this elbow was probably the one to break, you know? Like probably the best one. If one had to break, probably would be this, or maybe like a finger. That wouldn't have been too bad. I guess a finger would have been a little bit easier to recover from, but, because I've broken a finger before and that's not that bad. But I've broken a collarbone before and it affects everything you do. Like I said, I was not wearing a helmet. I could have busted my head open. I could have died. If the motorcycle would have went directly into me, I could have went flying 50 feet and it could have been really ugly. So I thank the Lord for keeping me safe in that moment. And it was a lesson for sure to be a little bit more careful and to protect myself better. And but anyways, long story short, I ride my bike to the ER. I hadn't learned much at that point. I went into the gym, by the way, because the adrenaline was pumping so much that I just locked my bike up at the gym across the street and I was like, oh, all right. So I went in and I'm like, oh, I don't think I can do chest today. That really sucks. I'm gonna do some legs. And then about 20 minutes into my workout, my right arm was just like locked like this. And I'm like, oh geez, I need to go to the hospital. And there's a little hospital, a big hospital here in Coronado that I live pretty close to, but the gym is not very close to it. So I'm like, am I gonna walk my bike to the ER or am I gonna ride it? I'm gonna ride it. So with one arm, I was just riding with my arm dangling around. But long story short, I got on the x-ray table and they're like, yep, you broke your elbow. And so I've been recovering from that. So now, I'm gonna take my brace off here in a second and show you where my current range of motion is right now. But with this arm, I'm just gonna show you, for the first week or so, I was stuck about right here. So, I mean, my full range of motion is back here, and obviously like this. Actually, the physical therapist says I have some hyperextension. So the goal is to get my right arm to be like this as well, because you don't want imbalances. But my arm was stuck about right here. I mean, I couldn't push it back. It's crazy. So, but with this specific type of injury, again, consult your doctor, but I would recommend, especially with all of the other videos that I've seen online, is you want to get seen by your ortho as soon as possible, like within 3 to 4 days of the injury, because the ER, they're probably going to put you in a sling, but if the bone is not displaced, or if it's minimally displaced, you need to get your arm moving as fast as possible, because there are people who lose permanent range of motion because they're afraid to push it, because they think if it's hurting, that means that, oh my gosh, I'm like messing with the broken bone process. Now again, everyone's injury is different. Like I said, you saw my x-ray, it really wasn't that bad. I've seen other x-rays that are, I mean, you can see the entire bone shatter. So consult with your specific doctor, but if it's not hugely displaced or shattered, and if it's not going to require surgery, then you're going to want to move it as fast as possible and try to get some physical therapy as well. So in those beginning, about the first week and a half or so, I had no strength in this arm. I mean, my grip strength was completely gone, and that's hard for me as a rock climber. I mean, I'm used to using my grip strength, and it's just so crazy how you don't understand how much you use your elbow for in your day-to-day basis. It's crazy. The things that we take for granted is truly insane. But anyways, I had no strength. I couldn't pick things up. Tying my shoes was a nightmare, but little by little the strength came back. And so mentally though, and this is where I want to get into when it comes to the setback portion, is like, I love working out and I have goals, going ahead. I was like in the middle of a lean bulk, if you will, to where I had lost a lot of fat earlier this year, and I got down to a weight that I never thought I was going to get down to, and I was in the middle of a lean bulk. I was eating enough and fueling myself. My workouts were feeling great. Every single lift, every single workout, each week I was going up in weight or reps, and I had like tweaked my workout schedule and my order of exercises to where I'm like, this feels optimal, this feels good, and I was making great progress. And then this happens, and I was, for a few days there, mentally I was pretty down bad, I'm not gonna lie. But I said, hey, what are the bright sides here? What are the positives? Well, I can use this time to trim up a little bit of fat, right? I don't need to keep bulking right now because I'm not gonna be able to gain mass in the same way that I can with both arms. So I started cutting a little bit. I kept working out my left side. There is actually research to show that if you keep working out one side, it sends growth signals to the other side of your body. So it's not to say that if I'm sitting here doing one arm chest presses, that my right pecs is going to grow. However, it will help it to not atrophy as much, okay? And so I encourage you, if you have an injury, just do what you can do. Do not sit here and worry about, oh man, well I can't, do what I want to do, so I'm just going to sit on the couch all day. That is a recipe for disaster. Now, if you have a broken leg, okay, I understand you might not, you can't go for walks and stuff like that. So that's another type of difficulty you have to overcome. But all you can do is all you can do. And for me, the mindset that I put on after I broke this is like, I need to have even more intensity and more intentionality with how I'm working out, with how I'm eating. Because if I let myself go during this time, it's gonna be really, really bad. So a few of the exercises, once I got approved for physical therapy, is taking the stress ball and just throughout the day, just squeezing it. And at the beginning, again, any tension on my grip was really, really challenging. But with time, that got better and better. Obviously, moving the elbow this way. Oh, and that was another thing. 2 days after, so it happened on a Monday. 2 days later, they put me in this brace. And for the first week, he wanted the range of motion to be limited. And then he wanted me to extend it to full range of motion. So again, range of motion is key. And to show you, I just took my brace off, and to show you my current range of motion as we are, about a month out, one thing they tell you to do is touch your thumb to your shoulder. So I naturally cannot do it. On the other side, obviously super easy. But here, I would have to push, and that's what you have to do. When you are cleared for it, you have to push through the pain. It sucks and it hurts, but it gets better. And then obviously any extension exercises as well. So that's just the update there. I'm gonna keep giving you guys updates. I am cleared for other types of activity. I'm even dead hanging again. If you rock climbers know this, where you hold onto the bar and just like are hanging. My bones can actually take that right now, but you have to ease into it. You do not want to overdo it, or else it is going to cost you more time. So I will keep you guys updated when I get back to full sport with more physical therapy lessons or class sessions. But I wanted to shoot this quick video just to start the process, and then we're going to document it all the way through. Hope you guys have a good one.